Hi everyone, Pastor Lara here with your Wednesday devotional as we continue to work our way through the book of Psalms. Today we come to Psalm 46. In the Bible description, there's a link to Bible Gateway so you can read the psalm for yourself. But for now, I'm going to read verse 10 through verse 11a for you. Be still and know that I am God. I am exalted among the nations. I am exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. Generally speaking, human beings are not good at being still. Our world and our culture are focused on activity, so inactivity is frowned upon. To be inactive is to be perceived as lazy. We expect to hear that retired people can't imagine how they ever worked because they are so busy now in retirement. How did they have time for work before? Not only do we view lack of activity as laziness, but we also associate it with being unwell. A person who is not in motion must be sick, or even worse, near death. And we avoid death at all costs. So, to imagine being still just seems like a waste of time. Or if we think it is a valuable use of time and something we want to pursue, when we first start trying to be still, we'll find ourselves a little bit wiggly like toddlers. We do not know for certain the historical context, what was going on in the lives of God's people during the time that Psalm 46 was written. However, it does seem from reading the psalm that the psalmist was experiencing or had recently experienced a very difficult time. A time that made it feel like the world was changing and the mountains were shaking in the heart of the sea and the waters were roaring. This certainly sounds like a turbulent time. And in the midst of all the chaos and turbulence, the psalmist hears God say, "Be still and know that I am God." Even in moments when it doesn't feel like our world is crashing down around us, I believe that our busy lifestyles and our culture requires that we heed this word and that we regularly make time to be still and know God. We are simply just too busy most of the time. I've been thinking of our busyness very often this lately when I see and hear a certain public service announcement which has become prevalent this summer. It says something along the lines of, "Don't forget, always check." It is a reminder to not forget that your children are in the back seat of a car on a hot day. Some experts have even suggested putting something important like your cell phone in the back seat of your car on a hot day so that you will turn around to get that important thing and see your children and not forget them. The reason for these announcements is that in 2018 and 2019, we had a record number of child deaths in hot cars in the United States, and we want to stop that trend. I know it is possible when a child is being very quiet to momently forget that they are with you. But when I hear these announcements, I always think, if we are too busy in life to remember that we have our children with us, then we are just too plain busy. If we are too distracted and too stressed out to recall that today was my turn to take the kids to daycare and they're in the back seat, then we are too busy to interact with our kids and just plain too busy in general. When we are on such an information lifestyle overload that we forget our children, then we are too overloaded, and that's not good for our kids, and it's not good for us either. Even in the busiest days, weeks, months, and seasons of life, we need to make time to slow down and spend some valuable time just being still. In fact, the more chaotic things seem to be getting in life, the more we need to take time to slow down and be still. We need time to process what is happening in and around us and to reflect on the chaos in light of our relationship with God. God cries out to us in the most chaotic of moments, just as he cried out to the psalmist. And God says, "My child, be still and know that I am God." I pray that on this day, you will make time to be still, and that as you make time to be still, you will find respite. And that as you pause to be still, you will not only be still, but you will also know God's presence with you. All thanks and praise be to our good and glorious God. Amen.